Guys, just a quick video today. I wanted to show you real quick how we can actually use these things here in the field. This is like the puncture probe essentially, and I'm going to use it here to check my flame sensor microamps without interrupting the system. We'll do one side here, make sure that's punctured through. Okay, then we take a alligator clamp, standard alligator clamp style, and we're just going to pop that on here. Boom. Got our meter here in microamps DC. Now we can just literally pull it and voila, 3.1 microamps DC. So just a quick little idea I came up with, and like I said, just tape this back up with some electrical tape. That way whenever you come back, you know that's where it's been pierced, right on the. Check this pressure switch. What I like to do is I'm just going to slide this back. Don't pull the wire all the way up, just slide it back just enough to get your jumper on there. Jump on the one side here, like such. And then the other side. Pull this plug off. Cool. It's still running. Now what I do, I've got my manometer once again. Make sure you zero it as usual. I'm just going to go ahead and tee this manometer into the circuit. One side of the hose there, onto your pressure switch, connect this into your input. Here we go. So now we're teed into the pressure switch manometer. See, we got 0.5, so we'll make sure that that's going to be greater than the pressure switch rating. So there's our pressure switch rating, 0.27. And I've got one of my favorite tools, the Short Pro. New guys, you guys need this here, man. The Short Pro, it just makes finding shorts so quick. There's a little LED in here, and what happens is you pretty much put this on each side of your, take the fuse out and kind of put this in the circuit, you know, in the series, the way the fuse is. And what happens is if there's a short, this little light, there's a resistor in here, this little light will actually illuminate if there's a short. And then once the short has been found, the light will go out once you break the short. So this makes things a lot quicker. And one thing about doing a furnace maintenance or any maintenance is the most important thing we want to do is verify the system's running. And the best way to do that is to verify the system's running. I say that to say that a lot of times we spend so much time doing all this invasive things, you know, pulling burners, cleaning them, and just basically almost fully dismantling the furnace, that most of the time on the maintenance is spent with the unit idle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how I check the system, most primarily while it's still running. I'm going over all the things I could check at it, you know, side pressures, voltage, all these different things, to the point where the system usually is going to be running for at least a good 25-30 minutes. And that way it gets enough time for the limits, and if there was any issues, any of your safeties to fault on you or anything crazy to happen. Remember these things here that no one seems to know what Vito even made them for or why they're there? I'm not sure. Maybe they're there for roping up the bag up onto rooftops or whatever. I'm not sure. But either way, I went ahead and took advantage of those. So go ahead and cut it loose real quick. That way you can see how I fished it through there. So this right here is just going to be a standard clip there, and I just fish it straight down through here. Okay, no big deal. And the same on this side. Loop the wire tie. Oh, come here. There it is. Up through there. Let's go ahead and feed it through here. See it? Boom. And then basically on the bottom side, we've got a wire tie going all around, and you can see it just locks on, hoops on like that. Very straightforward. 5-minute mod will give you a nice hands-free backpack. Makes it a little easier. Now I can carry something else in my hand if I'm going to be doing two system maintenance. It's got a furnace and a heat pump. I'll have my heat. I'm using it to inspect the ductwork, do like a really rough inspection. And what it is like, as long as you see the heat's contained within the ductwork, you don't see the heat like spread out all into the attic and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10 there's not going to be any large cracks or anything like that. We're not seeing any crazy spread out hot zones. Everything seems to be pretty well contained in the duct, right? But yeah, this is a pretty slick image just the top down. TC003. It helps to be a little more efficient, right? I don't have to go out there putting my hands on every duct necessarily. I'm just looking for really blown out hot spots. I had one not even a couple weeks back as well, where it was a zone system and it was pretty shoddy ductboard plenum. That plenum got blown out. The top of it was completely blown off. Just make sure all your takeoffs and everything are looking good, not crazy heat escaping from around the takeoffs. Simple. High side over here. And I actually started using this here thumb screw. I'm liking it so far, I guess, but I wasn't really, with these field piece probes, I really haven't had an issue too much with too much liquid blowback when taking them off or putting them on, but I don't know. I just want to give it a shot. So this is just a little thumb screw adapter here. And what it does is it allows you to put the pressure transducer on without actually depressing the Schrader core valve. So you can screw it on without depressing and shooting liquid on. And then once it's sealed, you turn this thumb screw in like such. And you can see in there, that thing actually protrudes out, or screw it out, it recesses in behind the gasket. And that's how that works. I like it, it's okay. Oh yeah, sorry, on this side, my apologies. On the low side, I always keep my charging T with a log. Alright there, this is a quick short video on how I use this Klein mini ratchet as a tool for pumping down systems. So as you see, this here is 5/16 outer diameter, so it fits perfectly into the 5/16 drive on that. And then this bit here is going to be a 3/16 drive, but that works for gas valves as well as for service valves. So we're just going to go ahead and tighten that down. Much better ratcheting action than the standard service wrench. As you can see, we get a whole lot more speed on that. And then guess what? Same thing here. This here 5/16 outer will fit right there. Boom. That's what interface with this here. But what are you going to do? For some reason they didn't take into account, this being a universal handle kit, they didn't take into account, well, what if my thread, what if either this gets stripped or, you know, the screw gets sheared off inside of here. Loosen that up. So you fix this under here, all right? Check this out, how simple this is. All right, then you grab you some of these coarse threaded nuts here. Loosen it up. And this will fit right in here. See there? So that fits right in there perfectly. Okay. All right. First, get your adapter, extension adapter. That lines up. You can see that's going to thread in very nicely. Nice and snug. And voila!